Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. This video is part of a training playlist which is in the description. Now, using this example, we are going to create a summary based on this data here. First of all, let's rename this sheet to data because this is the data. We can right click here and do a rename. Simple. Or we can go here, format, and go for a rename sheet. And this is, well, Alt H O R. Alt H O R is for renaming the sheet. Then we'll call this data. Let's insert another sheet, Alt HIS. Now I will be going to use these shortkeys again and again, and I hope do you remember every time. Alt HOR, rename. This is summary 1. Now we are trying to create a gross profit report out of that data. You want to make this bold because this is header. Use a Control B, Control U. Do like this. Let's do some summary of each category. We want a gross profit report. I'm just trying to outline things in my mind. Let's go to data. We want a summary of gross profit. Gross profit is this. Well, if you know accounting or a simple calculation of how to calculate the profit, just like we did here in this data tab, then we'll need sales, cost of sales, profit, commission, sorry, this profit, not this one. And these are all things we need, and we want these calculations based on category. And to do that, let's see how we can find what number of categories are there. In this case, we can either do this by clicking here, and you can see there are 3 categories, and we can maybe type these, but during typing we must remember that we should be typing the correct spelling. So, or maybe you have huge number of categories. What would you do if you want to summarize these category one by one? Let me show you how to do that. We'll go here, go down, Control Shift down, select till the end, copy this data, go to previous tab or sheet. Let me tell you what is the shortcut of moving between sheets. This is Control. While holding Control, you'll do a page up or page down. If I click page up, then I move to previous worksheet, and if I click page down, then it moves to next worksheet. So I'll go to previous worksheet like this, Control page up. I'll just go here anywhere in the blank, right click, paste as values. This is another shortcut. If you want to right click on a certain selection, there is a right click button on your keyboard, but it is mostly on full size keyboards, not the smaller ones on laptops maybe. Or if you don't have that, then you can click Shift F10. While holding Shift, you press F10, and this will open this option menus. Now we want to do a paste as values. Paste as values is simply V, because you can see there is a small underline here in cut. It means if you want to cut, then you can simply click on T, then it will cut. You click on C, then it will copy. And this way you can see all of these texts have a underlying letter, and that is the letter. If you press from your keyboard, then it will simply do that. Or you can also do this by up, down, or right, left. Now what about these? I want to paste as values like this. You can see in bracket it says V. So if I'm, let's say, here, I'll just simply press V and it will paste as values. You can also see that there are other ways to do that. P for paste, V for values, F for formulas, T for transpose, and so on. Now I'll select all of this, Control Shift down. While selecting all of this, I'll do for remove duplicates. This is a built-in Excel function. You can simply remove duplicates and it will just show you one item one time, because these are all repeating items. To do that, you have to go to Data tab, and for Data tab we'll do Alt A M, because M is for remove duplicates. You can see here, remove duplicates, Alt A M. Now I'll just do OK, and it removed duplicates. Let's go to the top. Now these three are the unique items. Now if you had a huge list, then you can simply do by copy paste and remove duplicates, and it will show you the unique items you needed. This is what we got. Let's do this, start it from any row or column, because at the end we can add more rows and columns and delete if we don't want. So maybe we can just keep it there and write sales. We want sales by kitchen, living room, and washer. Now we'll have total sales, sum of these three. Then we need costs, and in costs we need these costs as these three items, then total costs. Then we will get profit before commission, and again we'll have this calculation as these three categories. Then we'll have total profit before commission. Then let's say we need commission, then this, then total commission, then we'll have gross profit and total gross profit. Let me show you a quick thing here, not related to this, but a formula just came in my mind. If you use a formula called proper, for example, I didn't do a capital letter before each word in here and in here. Others are fine, and instead of doing a edit, I'm just trying to use this proper function here. I selected this, and you see a proper function just make your words proper. First letter is capital and other small. Then I'll copy and paste. You see, when I copy paste, the formula selection of cell moves relatively. So it moved 3 rows down. Now we got this. I'll copy this and paste as values. You see, this is value, and in here this is formula. Now I'll paste this as values here, and I'll get rid of this. Now we got these things. We also need a monthly and yearly breakdown. For monthly and yearly breakdown, we need the number of months here and the and years, obviously. But problem is we don't know the date range. So let's double check what is the date range. We don't need to remove duplicates here like we did for category, because date is a range. We simply need months. So we can see this data is starting from January 18 to August 2023. So what we can simply do is type January-18. If you remember formatting, number formatting training, then in formula box you can see when I typed January 18, it automatically gave it 1st of January 2018. And this is the actual date behind this visibility. This is just a visibility. If I go for control 1 or click here for the numbers formatting, then this is basically the formatting that says MMM-YY. MMM is for the letters of month and YY is 2 digits for year. If we type Y for 4 times, then it will say 2018, 2018. We'll just drag this down. This is another type of dragging, let me tell you. This dragging is not a copy paste because this is not a formula. But when Excel knows something to propagate forward, then it will do it automatically. For example, I'm trying to grab this and you can see this is moving like February 18, March, April, May, and so on till December. And after that, this is January 19. So I'll just grab this till, let's say this is 23, so we'll do this for till August 23, or maybe let's do this till December 23. We need a freeze pane here, but we not only need freeze pane for this row but also these columns. So whenever we are on right or bottom, we can see all of this. So I'll just do a freeze here. Now if we go right, then we can still see these headers on the left side, and if we go down, then we can still see what's on the top. We need some value here that is related to sales and kitchen and January 18. So whenever you need something in Excel, always remember to create a scenario in a logical manner in your mind so that you calculate or come up with a formula. For example, in previous training, we did if formula. In this case, we'll need some if formula, but not sum if, because let's see. Let me tell you another thing here. Short key. Sum if. Now the correct formula I need is sum if, just for now. And I want to select this. There is a way you type sum if and then start bracket and then type formula and then close bracket. Other way would be SUM. You can either go down or up or type more till you get the desired formula and press tab key from keyboard. Once you press tab, it will select the formula. You can see this is asking you for range, criteria, and sum range. Only 3 things. And technically this is one criteria, and then what do you want to sum? We want more than one criteria in this case. Then we need SUMIFS, because a SUMIFS is a formula that is based on sum range for many number of criteria, whatever you want. Now let me show you another thing here before doing this formula. We got the sum range. We need sales. In data tab, we have this total sales column. This is what we need. And we want only kitchen. Then kitchen is in category D. So column I is the sum. Column D is the criteria. And then also we want only January 18, and column B is date, which is January 18. Now there is something you should know. Criteria is a single word, which is kitchen. We can do that. Let's break this formula slightly. Do this one by one. So first step was this was sales and this was category. So we'll simply use this SUMIFS formula without date for now. I'll do a SUMIFS. I'll go for some range, which is this, then comma, then it is asking for criteria range. This is range, then comma, then I'll go back to summary tab and I'll click here. Kitchen is our criteria. Then we can add date criteria, but I'm just leaving this for now and I'll just close this and press enter. Now this is actually total of kitchen sales for all the periods, irrespective of dates. Now I want to view this as, we'll press this comma, which is accounting, and then we can click here to increase or decrease decimals. So this is what I want. For date, you see this is a date which is actually 1/1/2018. But if you go to this data tab and go for this column now, I don't think there will be January 18 dates will be 1, 2, 3 or many dates. We want a sum of all these dates, not just 1/1/18. Now this is where we can do something depending on what we want, depending on what our mind says, because there are a lot of ways to do that. For example, you can see this is year and month here, and then we concatenated these two things. If I open this, then now 2018-1 is a unique item for all of January 2018. Well, I think it's simple to use another criteria based on this column Q and have a 2018-1 in there. So let's say we use I did this formula, comma, criteria range 2 is this, then comma, then go back to summary and select this. But this is 0. Why? Because this is a date and there was something else you did in there, and that was what you tried to create a month and year out of date, which is this and this. Let's go back and let me show you here. There is another thing I want you to remember to simplify formulas. You see it says the data, which is tab, then exclamation, then it says D to D, which is basically all the column. Then it says C5 for summary 1 tab, which is the current tab. We can just get rid of this summary, because if a formula simply says box or cell, then it means that this is the active sheet or the sheet in which this formula is placed. Since we moved across these two tabs or sheets, that's why it called it summary. Let's go get rid of that to make this simple formula. It will still be same. Now this D3, we want let's add another row here. We basically need a year, and don't worry about this formatting. We can simply use this general and formatting will be okay. We need year and month. You see we did here in two different columns, like this and this and this. You can also include many formulas in just one box. Why would you need to calculate everything in separate boxes and then do another formula? So simply what we'll do here is, this is year, then we'll do an and, then these inverted commas, dash, and month, this, and bracket close. You see we simply got this. Now this criteria range should be this. You see, this is simple. Why having another row here? Let's just get rid of this. We can simply copy this and paste here instead of D4. You see, now we are bypassing the previous row. We can even get rid of this row. This is simple. This is how we did. I just want to show you another formula using the same pattern, but another possible way of using the date range. I mean, that is much complex than this formula, then why bothering using that? But just I want to show you how you can use one problem and you can have multiple solution and you can choose whichever is easier for you. Let's say we don't have these three columns here and we only have date in here, then we won't be able to use this column Q as a criteria range. So let me show you another way of doing this. There is a formula called end of month, EO month. You can also see this description here, which tells you what this formula can do. It is asking for start date. This is the start date. Let's type this month as 0 and bracket close. Now this is giving us something which is still January 18, but we don't know whether it is first or second or whatever month. You can also you can also see that by simply copying this and paste anywhere like here. This is general. Whenever you convert a date into general, it will look like something look something like this. You can simply go for here short date and it will tell you the way it should be presented. This is 31st of January 2018. So this date is correct. If you want to double check this date, then you can copy paste as value and now you can see. Or you can simply make this look like a date. So this was first and this is 31st. You can only view the output here. So when we drag here, then this is something we cannot see. You can double click here or you can do Alt HOI. Let's copy paste. Well, my way of doing a copy paste, whenever you want to move to the end of maybe a row or column, I use another row which is moving to the end. I do a control right, then I do a down, then I do a control shift right and press enter and it will paste. We can do Alt HOI and we can see that our dates are there. Now we have a start date and end date. This is how we can use the date column from here to incorporate in here. And how we'll do that? Well, first of all, we'll just get rid of this formula, or maybe let's just copy this formula down here. So it's still using the same. I'm just trying to show you how to do that. Now I'll just get rid of this. Now our criteria range 2 would be date, comma. Now we have two ranges. First one is this D3, which is start of month, and the second one is D4, which is the end of month. And what we need is any date that is greater than or equal to this and less than and equal to this. So these are two different criteria. And in here, let's get rid of this summary here to make the formula much simpler. And what we can do is use these inverted commas, greater than sign and equal sign, which means greater than and equal to. Why we are using this? Because this is a text. We cannot add something in between formulas, otherwise everything will mess up. So we want greater than and equal to and connects or the two things before and after it. So greater than and equal to this. Now I guess you'll be understanding what's going on. Let's just get rid of this here. So you have this criteria, column criteria range, which is column B, which is date, and what you want is this. which is the criteria, and criteria is what you see. This is greater than and equal to 4311. Again, I said that the general format of date is 43 something. This is calculating the number of days from a start of certain period, and it shows like this. We don't have to understand this, but we can simply click on date format and it tells us that this is date format, what date it is. So now we did this range, but this is anything greater than or equal to 1st January 2018. We also want another criteria for the same range, but this time this will be less than and equal to this date, and press enter. You see this is still 42,600. So whatever is easier for you or whatever is available for you. For example, this data, you cannot create these 3 columns, and your boss is not happy with these 3 columns. He's saying, why do you need these in your data? I think this formula is much better than this, so let's just get rid of this. Now you know what we do with our formulas. We just drag things here and there. Oops, what happened? Well, now let me tell you another concept of formula. I mean, I did it on purpose. This formula is saying that you're trying to grab sum of I from data, D criteria, and this C6 here is the criteria. This is range, this is criteria, this is range, and so on. This one is here date. If we go here, then this blue one seems fine. Data columns also seems fine, but you see this date moved down. We wanted to use this one here on the top, because this is part of the previous formula. Now let's drag again and you'll see that this one is moving down. Now what to do here? As I told you many times, whenever you copy paste formula, your selection moves relatively to the position of the formula you copied from. For example, I copied this formula from here to there, then every selection, even on data tab or this tab, will move relatively to this. If you go down, then everything will move down. Now you don't want to move down this red one. Let's just do another thing here and move this, copy this on the right side. Now you see this criteria, instead of kitchen, is selecting this one, and all these columns are also changed from data tab. Now let me tell you a concept of locking your selections or rows or columns. Some rows you don't want to move, some rows you want to move. In here we use a $sign to lock anything. Like, you don't have to type any $sign, don't worry about it. All you have to do is go here, select this and press F4. Then it will automatically lock column I. Now if we copy down or right, this column I won't change. Let me show you. Press enter, copy this down, copy to right. You see it is still column I, this is still column I, but the other data had changed. This is E and this one was D. So now let's do this locking. You can also do this locking while typing the formula, but I just wanted you to show you the concept of locking. This column D is criteria range for category. Well, we don't want to move category because it is the same column for any of the month or any of the row. So we'll just lock this. And also, I'm just skipping. And also this column Q, everything will lock from data tab because these are the rows which are selected and we don't want to move these. But this C5 here, we want to lock this for column C. So I pressed F4, it is locking both Then I'll press F4 again. Now it is locking row 5 because lock sign is with, or dollar sign is with 5. When I press F4 again, and then this lock sign is now with C column. And this means that C will be locked. If we move down, then 5 will change to 6, 7, 8, and so on. But if we move right or left, C will not be changing. That's what we want. And in here, we want to lock 3. Because if we go right or left, we want to move this red box to the right, but not to the below or top, because the row 3 is what we want to fix here. Now press enter, copy paste like this and this. Now you see we got numbers in there because now things are being calculated correctly. And here you see this is date, this is month. So whenever we are moving to a certain column or row, we want these dates or columns selected accordingly. Instead of copying to the right, let's just go down and fill this first column at least. Now we want costs. I'll just copy this and paste here. What would we change here? What do you think? Well, we want costs, and this sum is based on column I. Column I is total sales. Now we need total costs, which is column J, and everything will be same. So instead of doing this formula again, we can simply use this J here and J here and press enter. This will be cost. If you want to double check, let's say you or I might be wrong. What if we want to double check that kitchen is 24,000, or let's just check these 6 numbers manually just to make sure that this formula we used is correctly used. Maybe we mistyped anything. Well, there is a probability always. So whenever you do some formula, always try to double check it at least for first, then you can copy paste if it is a huge formula. So in here, this is January 18 and sales total for kitchen. Let's go to data. Let's go for January 18. That's how you can use your filter effectively. You go for kitchen, and the total sales are, once you select any of these, you can always see this here. This shows you sum of selection, this is count of selection, and this is average of selection. So we need sum, which is 42,600, and here it is 42,600. Let's go for this living room here for the same selection. Obviously there is no living room, that's why it's 0. Let's go for washer, and washer is what, 160,000, and in here we got 160,000. For washer cost 126,000. For washer cost is 126,000. Now we double check, we are happy. Let's go next. Profit before commission is something which is kitchen minus kitchen, means sales minus cost, and that's it. Why using complex formula if it is a simple one? Copy paste till down. Now you see if we copy paste, this is moving downward. If we go, let's say, to the right, then it will move right. So we won't lock anything in here. Now we need commission, and I'll just copy paste here again and see where is commission. Commission is in column M. We'll just update this to M, and there we go. I'm just trying to show you everything in very deep detail, and once you know what is it, I'll try to do things in, speedy way so that this training is not very long. So this is, now we know we did this, and gross profit will be commission, profit before commission minus commission. Then this is it. Let's just do this column bold so we know the headers and everything. In here we need total sales, which is a sum. Let me show you another thing. We can do this plus this plus this, or we can do equal sum this and select while holding shift, I'm just moving to the up arrow, or you can also select from mouse like this. Either way, it's the same thing. Or there is another beautiful hotkey for this. You hold Alt key and press equal button. It will always give you a sum formula with the closest selection possible. So this is it. I'll just do a bold here because this is sum. Copy this, paste here. Why doing again? Because relatively it will move. So you have to know how formulas are moved in relative to the other cells, and you can simply save time. Let's just get rid of these. Select all of this, copy paste, or drag till the end. Oops. There we go. You got every month in there. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more Excel tutorials. Again, this video is part of a full training. You can find the link in the description and save the playlist or bookmark. I'll see you soon in the next video.